welcome back to Mase Pod, episode 3. Today I'm with Lewy Wilson, a Scottish native who has played in Scotland and out here in the States with me. Obviously playing in a D2 college in St. Mary's in San Antonio, you've racked up some career honours more than anybody else that I've played with and played against. And I would just like to read some of that off for you. So your college career honours: Lone Star Conference Player of the Week, September 2022, and again October 2022. Lone Star Player of the Year 2022, Lone Star Defensive Player of the Year 2022, Lone Star All Conference Team 2022, D2 CAA All Region First Team, USC All Region First Team as well, USC All American Second Team, D2 NCAA All American First Team, Lone Star All Tournament Team, Lone Star All Conference Third Team, Lone Star Commissioner's Honor Roll Spring 19, Spring 20. That's good. All Heartland Conference Second Team 2018, and was the first ever D2 NCAA First Team All American in St. Mary's history.
Yeah.
It's amazing, mate. And you played semi-professional over here in the United States with myself, and you got the NPSL Lone Star Team of the Month in 2022, Lone Star Conference Champion 2022, Lone Star Conference Playoff Champion in 2022 as well. 2022 was a great year for you, brother.
It was a good year.
Okay, having played with you in 2022 and then against you for our colleges as well, we're back playing together again in 2024. I much prefer being on the same team than being against you, in all honesty. And you've been quite the journey since graduating from college.
Yeah.
Ups, downs, happy moments, rock bottom moments, bro. And from getting trials to go professional in the US to then having to go back home to then enduring injuries in between those. Let me be the first to say that I respect everything that you've done in between the time that I've known you up until today, bro. Like, you have gone through, like I just said before, you have gone through so many highs, all of your college careers, and then you've gone through some lows as well at the same time. And to keep bouncing back, to still continue being the light of the room whenever we're all together, like, it's something that I admire about you, bro. And my first question for you, bro, is how do you go through all the hardships that you have and still continue to show up to put in effort?
Honestly, just parents. My parents
Yeah.
always, through my life, when we started, we didn't have the best. But with my dad grinding the way he did, he got us the life that we all deserve. So just seeing how he woke up every day, how my mum woke up every day, wake up with a smile on your face, you're living, and you just have to put the effort in. You gotta grind and you gotta do what you want to do to get where you want to be.
Yeah. So, which kind of leads me on to my second question as well. Do you feel that it's a Scottish mentality, or do you feel like you have to kind of check in with yourself every now and then?
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Like, Scotland is rough. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it's rough. So having the mentors that I have, like Johnny Clifford, great man, kept me going, ups and downs with him. So I would say as a whole, yeah, you definitely need to check in sometimes, because here you get a bit sidetracked.
Yeah.
You get a bit of goals, a bit of honours, and sometimes it goes to your head.
Yeah.
And then I had a reality check from Johnny. He was like, no, you have to keep grinding, like, this is just the start. So shout out to him, honestly. Like, he's kept me really grounded, and he's kept me on the path that I need to be on.
Good, bro. I'm sure he'll see this in one way, shape or form. So I'm glad that you've had that kind of guidance throughout your whole college career. You've played at St. Mary's for all 4 years, and then obviously did transfer to a D1, and then came back to St. Mary's.
Yeah.
So you coming back to St. Mary's after going to after a D1, that shows how much respect you have for that coach and how much guidance he was willing to give you. And that's something that I proper admire about you as well, bro. Like, a lot of people can go to D1 and just do it for the sake of playing for the status. I'm a D1, and you ended up coming back and having the most successful season you've ever had at college level that year when you came back, and that shows how much like you made the right decision, bro. You had a great summer season with me. We won nearly everything,
almost,
and then went and repeated it straight away.
Yeah, hard to.
As you progressed through your career, do you feel that your approach to football has changed?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like, used to drink Red Bull before the game to get myself up and stuff like that. Like, you forget why you're playing the game. You sort of like, I need to win the game. But now, like, I'm a little bit more relaxed. It's like, I'm not gonna win us the game. Like, I'm gonna contribute, like, clean sheets and stuff, but I'm not gonna single-handedly ever win us a game. So, going back to what you were saying, like, I've had to check myself, sort of thing. Yeah.
So, I mean, just touching on where I used to watch you get prepared for games in 2022 compared to how you get prepared for games now. We'd be in the changing rooms, you'd be necking an energy drink, and you'd be all trying to get riled up, bro, like, as much as you did. I mean, we had a team that was like that. You had Connor in goal, who'd be banging his head against the whiteboard to try and get himself like riled up and stuff like that. Whereas now, like, we're in the changing rooms, me, you, G, and whoever else playing head tennis, like little things, like just to kind of relax yourselves into the game, get touches, get ready to approach it in a much calmer way. And I think now, after seeing you play both ways, I feel like now you play as a mature player. Like, you've gone home, you've played in different places, and you have that experience now, and you definitely play with a lot more composure. You definitely play, and it's not even like on the ball. I'm not even talking about that sort of stuff. Like, you control like a lot more your emotions a lot more. Not that you was ever out of control, but it's now more like the team first, and you're willing to get the team together. Whereas before, you led by example, 100%, and you did lead by talking as well. And I think everyone followed you because of the way that you was, and like everyone was like, "Okay, he's the captain. Like, we need to do everything that he says." Whereas now it's like, you're still the skipper, but you're leading with a bit more care, if you know what I mean. You're a bit more like mellow as a captain, and I don't think there's a right or wrong way.
No.
I think you did both ways. They're clearly working. So my hats off to you again, bro. As I mentioned, you went home and played for a year in Scotland. What was the main thing you realised that you missed as you was playing back home?
Playing on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, building out, giving it to your right back and being able to take the ball back and switch the play or just keep it ticking over. Oh, I missed that so much.
Yeah.
Playing with, like, I'm not saying that they're bad players, because they're not, but just like, you have to win every game. Every game is a cup final back home, where it still is here, but it's a chess match here. Whereas we were just gung-ho. Yeah, I miss playing on the ground, man.
Yeah.
Like, I like playing in the air, don't get me wrong, but I like just being able to pass and watch, like, a beautiful goal against Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that, you just don't see that much.
No, I mean, yeah, like, it's a I want to say, playing back home is more kind of like I just want to say, like, kind of like a bunch of dogs, bro. Like, you just all running yourselves into the ground, and everything's a fight, everything's a battle, and it's just a different mentality. Whereas here, I mean, yes, there's influences that people, like coaches that watches certain kinds of games and stuff like that, and they try to replicate that style. Whereas back home, it's very traditional. Like, I mean, the level that I played at back home, okay, we're going to try and play out from the back. Halfway through the season, scrap that. We're going long, we're punting it, we're going to win the seconds, and we're going to go from there. So I completely agree with you, man. I mean, you kind of already touched on this as well, but what is something that you missed about playing in the US?
The boys as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'll hat off to Fermor, man. Like, they were great people. Everybody in the club from the ground up, amazing people. Sandy, the kit man, best man. Best guy in the club. Eck, best guy in the club. Two great people. So it's more the boys like I miss, because we're all similar ages.
Yeah.
We're all going through stuff together, and it's like more of like a team, and then you've got the manager.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like crying his shoulder a wee bit, you can go to him. Whereas like back home, it's like, I don't know. It's just like you've got your old heads, you've got the
Yeah.
young boys, and I was like somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So I had like 2 or 3 boys that I could speak to. I could speak to other boys, but like here we're a collective.
Yeah.
unit.
I mean, one major difference of playing back home and playing here, when you finish training back home, when you finish playing back home, you go back to your regular life. You just go back to your home, or you have work the next day, you have all this other stuff. Whereas here, well, you get sick of each other by the end of the summer, bro. Like you're living in the same house, you're training together every single day, you have to go to events together. Like you form a bond way stronger in 3 months than you do with a team that plays from August to April.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Going on to my next question. What is something that you appreciate since coming back to the US?
The lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, because it's just, I was just working every single day, 9 till 5, and then train after, gym after. There was always something after.
Yeah.
Whereas like here, I appreciate that it's like you can go about your day, and it's a bit like,
It's a bit more mellow.
yeah, it's a bit more mellow. You can just enjoy the day, whereas you're like chasing the day back home.
Yeah. Okay, so has any of your coaches tried to implement sports psychology into your teams?
Yeah, Johnny.
Johnny, yeah?
Yeah, big on it.
Yeah.
Big guy on it. Like, to be fair, like he always said, like when you're in the locker room, like this is our safe space. So whatever's said in here never leaves here. What's done in here never leaves here. So when we had our team in 2019, we were very like, there was too much people would go away, and
Okay.
you know how people are, they speak in the calf about the coach,
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
players. But as the years went on and those boys went out the door, like he was our guy.
Okay.
Like he was our man. You could go to him for anything, and he would have our back and we would have his.
Yeah.
I don't really know all the sports psychology part of it, but having him saved us.
Right.
Like we were never the best team in the conference. We were never had the best players, but we were the best team.
Yeah.
Like as a team, we would
As a collective.
die for one another, and
Yeah.
that comes from him.
No, I agree. So during your time with Johnny, like you said, that he kind of touches on like sports psychology and stuff like that. I don't know if you was there in this like time. I don't know whether you had left, but obviously speaking to one of our boys, Morgan, I feel like he mentioned that you guys used to have like a team psychologist, like as a team.
Yeah, Dr. Blakely.
Yeah.
Yeah, she used to come in and we used to do little things, but I didn't like it.
No.
Just because I feel like all the boys would just say it's Johnny's fault. It's
Ah,
Johnny's
okay,
fault.
okay.
Whereas like it was internal.
It wasn't as kind of reflective as you kind of hoped.
Yeah, because I don't think she was with the team enough.
Okay.
Like I feel like you need to know the politics
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like know certain boys need certain things.
Yeah.
Whereas Johnny just treated us as one, and then some boys need an arm around their shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree, bro. I agree. When you was doing those team sort of psychology like meetings, you feel as if she asked the wrong questions, or you felt like it was easier for the boys to pass the blame because you're all together?
Yeah, I thought her intentions were great.
Yeah.
I thought what she was doing was great. I just think the boys weren't mature enough to act on it the way it was supposed to be.
I mean, yeah, it's tough in a college environment when you've got kids from 18 to 22, maybe a little bit above, but it's a tough time in life for you to really own like your own actions. It's very much easier to pass blame and kind of make you feel that none of it's your own fault, if you know what I mean. Like,
No.
yeah, Johnny doesn't play me, Johnny doesn't do this, or
Yeah.
like he makes me feel this type of way, rather than kind of having the conversations with yourself and say, right, okay, what does Johnny want from me so that I can play?
Yeah.
Like I said, so I was going to ask you like what was your experience, but you kind of already touched on that. Do you feel as a team it helped or not so much?
On a personal level, like I didn't get as much as I would have liked. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Because I just think it was way too broad. Like
Okay.
she had like 20 minutes before training.
Yeah.
Like she was on a clock,
Right.
and you felt like when you were getting into it, like it
It's
stopped.
finished. Yeah.
So I think it's a great thing. Like I think for certain players really, really need it.
I think so too, bro. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I've started to get into it after being in the college setup, and I mean, living through some of the struggles, but also seeing it firsthand with some of my friends, some of my teammates, and how much of a struggle it is to balance college life as well as playing, and especially if you're from other countries and out of touch. Well, I mean, when I first came over here, I was very lucky, bro. I ended up stumbling into a junior college where I had a mutual friend that we ended up becoming best friends. Like, I was very, very lucky, but there's boys that come from like all over the world, and it takes them ages to settle in. Like, they don't have anyone that they can relate to, or they don't like the area, or they don't like the coach.
Speak the language.
Exactly, they're struggling trying to speak the language, and I think that there's a gap for those sort of people that need that, bro. Like, you could be entering a new country, okay, with the dreams of going professional, with the dreams of getting a degree, but like no one knows how like challenging it can be that first semester.
Yeah.
And I think personally, if I'm kind of thinking out loud, I believe that every college should have their own sports psychologists to help with those people. I mean, American colleges make a lot of money from international students, and when they get here, they can feel the most lost out of absolutely everyone.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that.
Do you feel it would have been more beneficial to have a sports psychologist on a one-to-one level?
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel like
100%. Like the things like you have your good days and you have your really, really, really bad days.
Yeah.
And on those bad days, I was lucky enough to have Liam
Yeah.
that I could bounce off. So he was like, you could say he was like my psychologist.
Yeah.
He kept me going, vice versa. But if you had somebody there on a daily basis that sees you down before you announce it
Yeah.
to the world, you know what I mean? Like, you're totally right. That's what the college is missing.
Yeah.
Some players don't come back.
No.
You go to a semester and some players just don't come back, and you were like, why?
Yeah. And they've got their whole life ahead of
that.
them, and they just give up quick. And it's not even the fact that they're just kind of like weak mentally or anything like that. It's just that they didn't have the support.
Yeah, life gets in the way.
Yeah,
man.
it really does, bro. On our first episode, me and JP, he spoke about how important it is to have that circle of comfort. So he spoke about his wife, he spoke about his kids, and how he had the support consistently with him. Luckily, you came over here and you obviously were with one of your best friends, bro, and like that probably helped you more than you could ever realize, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the guy personally, and I love him just as much as you probably, mate. And like I said, like you've got that social support, bro, and I just want to stress how important that is for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people, when they play sports, they have some sort of self-confidence because they're obviously good at their craft, or they make friends that way. But like I said, like if you come into a college or if you go into a professional team and you don't know anything, you don't know the area, you don't know how you're going to make friends, because different cultures, you make friends in different ways. That support network is
key.
Way more valuable than just being here in itself. And my last question, brother, I'll ask everyone on the pod the same question, and it's, what would you tell your 16-year-old self if he was able to?
16. I would say honestly, just keep more grounded. I would have said keep more grounded, because when I first came out here, I wasn't the best. I couldn't play my freshman year, and I just sort of went off the rails.
Okay.
And I think that comes from like being at an academy, knowing you're the best in your area, knowing you're the best in your position, and then coming over here is a totally different ballgame. So I would just say keep more grounded, because you're not the best player out here.
I just want to actually touch a little bit on that. I was about to end it, but you being in an academy, getting all of this kind of confidence, like you said you knew you was the best in the area, best in your position, one of the best in the team. the reality check of coming over to America after feeling all of those feelings would have hit you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And like you said, that you was in your freshman year, new environment, new people, and you obviously wanted to explore that. So saying to yourself that you would want to stay more grounded and to try and continue working from the beginning is, I think that's a good message that you were to give your 16-year-old self, to be honest, bro.
Just keep grinding, man.
Yeah.
Like
Head down.
Yeah, just keep your head down and just know that somebody out there is better. Everyone's harder than you. There's somebody harder than you. There's somebody better than you. You know what I mean? So just keep your head down and keep grinding.
Focus on yourself.
Focus on yourself. That should be it.
Yeah, that's what you tell yourself?
Hell yeah. Focus on yourself, because you get too sidetracked with what other people are doing.
With
and
the comparisons.
I'm still doing that now. My missus gets on to me all the time.
Yeah. I mean, the easiest thing to do is compare yourself to others. I mean, I'm 26 and I've just graduated. I'm one of the oldest people in my teams since I've been here. As a freshman, I was one of the oldest. So everyone has their own timing, and I think we go through these days where you're comparing yourself to others and starting to feel like you're running out of time or going a bit slow or whatever the feeling is. But as long as you have your support network that is keeping you grounded, and just knowing, like you say, like there is going to be people that is better than you in other areas of life, but no one's you.
Yeah.
No one's you, and that's the only thing that you can control.
Yeah. And as long as you did better than yesterday, that's all that matters.
Exactly, bro. Thank you so much, bro.
No worries. Thank you, George.